All right, last part. So if you hopefully you watch the rest of these. I'm trying to keep them shorter because too long you won't say it all. If you look at what they've done in this country, the history that they lied about. Here's the funny thing. I'm on Red Note. I'm gonna put this on Red Note. The Chinese mapped the whole entire world by 900 AD. 900 AD. 900 AD. There was no England. Literally no England. They were still living with like animals in the woods. Literally. Um, Best example of how nasty they were is the Last Kingdom. There's a series, and it goes through and Alfred and all the rest of the stuff and how it was established. And I'm sure it had to be worse, and it was pretty bad to watch. These people don't are the last people on in the world to do anything. The Chinese had kingdoms for thousands of years. You had the Tang, and then I think after the Tang it was the King. No, it was anyway. They had plenty. They had three or four kingdoms that were huge. All three of those kingdoms also were in charge of what was called Joseon or Goryeo, which is now Korea before it was separated. They always had to pay some type of homage to them, and they always had to get their crown prince approved, and thus their government approved, and then they would have to send gifts of whatever. And of course, both of them fought against the Mongolians. But my point to all this is they were far advanced compared to Europeans. Then you had the Umayyads who came in and they took over pretty much the Mediterranean area. And then you had the Moors who came and took from Italy further west. And they brought what we call enlightenment. They brought liberal arts. They brought everything else. They had traveled. They showed how to live in a civilized manner. And with that, over a 7 year period, then they decided, okay, they got to go and started killing them and erasing the history of them. In America, there was a mosque, according to Christopher Columbus's diary in modern day Florida. There were other places that he saw that there were Muslim in Canada and Cuba, especially. Um, we know that the Ottoman had completely mapped by 1805 the whole East Coast from the Mississippi to the East Coast with every tribe in it, with every river in it, with everything that they encountered. Everything was written in that map. If you've ever done that kind of work, you know that that didn't happen overnight. You also have the Arabs who wrote about making a trip and walking across the deserts across southern America above the Mexico line. The Europeans were the last people to do so. Now they've turned around and they're kind of sort of the most evil if you look at the hierarchy. But what they did in 1600 was they codified what they realized, okay, we're really the minority. The oligarchy was the minority. The rich people were the minority. But if we convince the Irish, the Scottish, all the people we think are dirt, that they're white just like us, and we get the Italians as long as they're light enough, and the Spanish as long as they're light enough, and we convince them we're white, and they're with us, then we can teach them. Just like Lyndon B. Johnson said, if you teach the poorest white man something, da 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 da, he will use. That's what they've done. They've done that since 1600 in America. Anything that they could subjugate, anything that they do wrong, they've done. Now we're realizing that at least the last 20 or 30 years, at least since Clinton, probably before, that a lot of our government, a lot of the people working in our government, a lot of these far right wing Christians are also predators and pedophiles. And they use the Bible for this. Well, actually, use the Talmud for this. The Talmud allows them to do this. And that's why they pay respects and they bend the knee to Israel because they use that. We got a question is are they Christian? Or are they telling you they're Christian and they're teaching you Talmud? I mean, something's going on here. We need to wake up. We need to really, it's not about critical race. We need to learn some real history. I think Americans found out real history in America that they would be so surprised that they would be, my word is be fuckers. They wouldn't know what to do. That's just their history. If we get into the African history, we get into the indigenous history, the Arab history. Two Arabs signed the first treaty with the colony with the Cherokee. Think about this. People have been in this country a lot longer. I saw the brother Mati was doing an interview with a European thinks that he's a Native American. No, you're a colonizer. You're a descendant of a colonizer. When you tell people to go back home, 9 times out of 10 they want you to go back. Think about these things. Hopefully you watch all these videos, and if you make it this, I hope I put some thought into you, make you think, do some research, and have a blessing.